Could one PiCoin really be worth over $300,000? Is Pi Network about to change everything we know about cryptocurrency? And why are millions of people around the world talking about something called ground consensus value? If you're holding PiCoins right now, or if you've been wondering whether Pi Network is the real deal, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're diving deep into the boldest prediction the Pi community has ever made. We'll uncover what's really happening with the new DEX testnet, explore why the community believes in this massive number, and I'll give you the facts you need to understand what this could mean for your Pi holdings. But here's the thing. There's a twist to this story that most people aren't talking about, and I'm going to reveal it before the end of this video. So stick with me until the very end, because what I share could completely change how you think about Pi Network's future. Let's take my time, greet and welcome you all, Pi pioneers from every corner of our planet. Whether you're watching from the bustling streets of Mumbai, the vibrant markets of Lagos, the beaches of Rio de Janeiro, the mountains of Mexico City, or anywhere else on this amazing planet, I'm absolutely thrilled to share this groundbreaking news that's going to reshape everything you thought you knew about Pi Network's future. Before we dive into this game-changing announcement, I want to see our global Pi family unite right here. Just join our community by smash subscribe button and ring notification bell so you never miss an update. Also, comment PI Network to the moon along with your country name to show the world how truly global our Pi movement has become. This is your moment to be part of something historic, and I promise you, by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why Pi Network is proving once again that it's not just another cryptocurrency project, but a true revolution toward an inclusive, decentralized financial system that actually works for real people with real needs. So, let's talk about this number. $314,159 for just one PiCoin. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds absolutely crazy, right? And honestly, when I first heard it, I thought the same thing. But here's where it gets interesting. This isn't just a random number someone pulled out of thin air. Look closely at these digits. 3.14159. Do you recognize it? It's pi, the mathematical constant. The same pi that the network is named after. The community chose this number as a symbol. It represents their belief in the long-term vision of Pi Network. It's not just about money. It's about building something revolutionary. Something that puts power back into the hands of everyday people like you and me. Now, let's be completely honest here. Would one Pi actually reach this price? That's the big question everyone wants answered, and we'll get to the realistic side of things in just a moment. But first, we need to understand what's driving this belief. Because there's real development happening right now that's got the entire Pi community buzzing with excitement. Pi Network just launched their DEX testnet. And this is huge. For those who don't know, DEX stands for Decentralized Exchange. Think of it as a trading platform where you can swap different tokens and assets directly with other users. No middleman, no central authority controlling everything, just pure peer-to-peer transactions powered by smart contracts. This is what the crypto world calls DeFi, or decentralized finance. And it's been one of the hottest trends in blockchain technology over the past few years. But here's why the Pi DEX matters so much. It proves that Pi Network is moving beyond just being a mining app on your phone. They're building real infrastructure, real utility, real financial tools that people can actually use. Let me break down what the DEX testnet brings to the table. First, peer-to-peer trading. You can trade assets directly with other pioneers without going through a centralized exchange. That means more control over your own money. Second, token creation support. Developers can create new tokens that run on Pi Network's blockchain. This opens the door for thousands of new projects and applications. Third, liquidity pools. These are special smart contracts that help stabilize prices and make trading smoother for everyone. And fourth, seamless integration with Pi Wallet and the identity system. Everything connects together in one ecosystem. Now, why does this matter for the value of Pi? Well, think about it this way. When you give people actual tools to use their Pi coins, You create real demand, real utility, and utility is what gives any currency its value. The DEX testnet is like lighting a spark. It's the beginning of Pi Network's transition from a closed system into a full-featured Web3 platform. Now, let's talk about something the Pi community is really passionate about: ground consensus value, or GCV. This is where things get really interesting, because GCV represents a completely different way of thinking about cryptocurrency value. Most cryptocurrencies get their price from speculation. People buy and sell on exchanges, hoping the price goes up. The value goes crazy up and down based on hype, news, and market manipulation. But Pi Network is trying something different. GCV is based on actual real-world transactions within the Pi ecosystem. It's about what people are willing to exchange for Pi in their daily lives. Let me give you an example. Imagine a baker in your neighborhood who accepts Pi for bread. She charges 2 Pi for a loaf. That's a real transaction creating real value. Not speculation, not hype, just honest exchange between people. Now multiply that by thousands of merchants around the world. Coffee shops accepting Pi, online stores pricing their products in Pi, service providers being paid in Pi for their work. All of these real transactions create what the community calls ground consensus value. It's value built from the ground up, through actual use. Here's what makes GCV special. It's determined by peer-to-peer transactions and merchant acceptance. It reflects real purchasing power within the Pi economy. It evolves naturally through community consensus and everyday usage patterns. And, most importantly, it encourages ethical pricing and sustainable growth instead of pump and dump schemes. This is the vision. This is what the Pi community is building toward. A value system that's not controlled by big exchanges or wealthy traders, but by millions of everyday people using Pi in their lives. Now, I want to be balanced here. Building GCV takes time. It requires merchant adoption. It needs the mainnet to open fully so Pi can flow freely in the economy. We're not there yet, but the foundation is being laid. So, how is Pi Network actually supporting this vision? What infrastructure do they have in place? This is important because big ideas need solid technology to back them up. And Pi Network has been building quietly but steadily. Let me walk you through the ecosystem they've created. The Pi Wallet is your gateway to everything. It's where you store your Pi, manage your assets, and make payments. It's designed to be simple enough for anyone to use, even if you've never touched cryptocurrency before. The Pi browser lets you access decentralized applications, or dApps. Think of it like Chrome or Safari, but built specifically for the Pi ecosystem. Developers are already creating apps that run on this browser. Smart contracts are the automated programs that make everything work without human intervention. When you trade on the DEX, smart contracts execute the trade automatically. Fair, transparent, trustless. The KYC system verifies your identity. Now, I know some people don't love the idea of KYC in crypto, but here's the thing: it prevents bots, stops fraud, and makes sure real humans are benefiting from the network. It's about keeping the ecosystem healthy and trusted. And here's a big one: PIUSD. This is a stablecoin backed by treasury assets. Why does this matter? Because while Pi itself might be volatile as it finds its value, PIUSD gives people a stable way to transact. It's like having both an investment asset and a reliable payment method in one ecosystem. All of these pieces work together. They're not separate tools. They're an integrated system designed to support real economic activity. This is what separates Pi Network from many other crypto projects. They're not just creating a coin and hoping for the best. They're building an entire economy from the ground up. Now, let's talk about the real secret weapon of Pi Network: the community. Over 60 million pioneers worldwide. Think about that number for a second. 60 million people. That's more than the population of many countries. That's a movement. And what makes Pi special is that these aren't just passive holders hoping to get rich quick. These are people actively participating. Mining daily, supporting local merchants, building applications, engaging in governance discussions. The Pi community is truly global. I'm seeing pioneers from the United States, Nigeria, Philippines, India, Brazil, Vietnam, Indonesia, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Mexico, and hundreds of other countries. People from completely different backgrounds and cultures, all working toward the same vision. This community-driven approach is powerful for several reasons. First, it creates organic growth. When millions of people believe in something and actively use it, that creates real network effects. The value grows naturally, not artificially. Second, it distributes power. Unlike cryptocurrencies controlled by a few wealthy investors or mining companies, Pi puts the power in the hands of everyday people. Your daily contribution matters as much as anyone else's. Third, it drives innovation. Developers within the community are creating tools, apps, and services because they're genuinely excited about the potential. They're not just chasing quick profits. And here's something beautiful. The community is patient. They understand that building something revolutionary takes time. They're not demanding overnight riches. They're committed to the long-term vision. This patience and commitment is exactly what Pi Network needs to succeed, because lasting value isn't built in days or months. It's built over years through consistent effort and real adoption. Honest and balanced tone. All right, now it's time for me to be completely real with you, because I promised you the full picture, and that means being honest about the challenges and realistic expectations. Could Pi actually reach $314,000 per coin? Let's do some quick math. If we assume there are around 100 million Pi coins in circulation, that price would create a market cap of over $30 trillion. That's more than the entire global cryptocurrency market combined. It's more than the GDP of most countries on Earth. To put it simply, that number is not realistic, at least not in any foreseeable future. So why do people talk about it? Because it's aspirational, it's symbolic. It represents the community's massive belief in what Pi could become, not a serious price prediction for tomorrow or next year. Now, does that mean Pi has no value? Absolutely not. Let me be clear about this. The real question isn't whether Pi will hit some magical symbolic number. The real question is, can Pi create genuine utility and adoption? And on that front, there are genuine positive signs. The infrastructure is being built. The DEX testnet shows real technical progress. The community is massive and engaged. The tools for merchants and users are being developed. The vision of decentralized finance for everyone is taking shape. But there are also challenges ahead. The mainnet is still closed. Open market trading hasn't happened yet, so we don't know what the real market price will be. Pi faces competition from established cryptocurrencies with proven track records. Regulatory challenges exist for any cryptocurrency project operating globally. Merchant adoption needs to grow significantly for GCV to become reality. Here's my honest take. Pi Network has potential, real potential. The community is genuine, the development is ongoing, the vision is compelling. But potential doesn't automatically equal massive wealth. It means opportunity, it means possibility. It means if things go well, if adoption grows, if the technology delivers, then yes, Pi could become valuable. How valuable? Nobody knows. Anyone who tells you they know exactly what Pi will be worth is either guessing or trying to sell you something. So, if you're holding Pi right now, or if you're thinking about getting involved, what should you do? Here's my advice, and I'm giving this to you completely honestly. First, stay informed. Keep learning about what's happening with Pi Network. Follow official announcements. Understand the technology. Watch how the DEX testnet develops. Knowledge is your best tool. Second, be patient. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is a revolutionary financial ecosystem. The pioneers who will benefit most are those who think long-term, not those chasing quick flips. Third, participate actively. Don't just mine and forget about it. Explore the Pi browser. Check out the apps being built. If you're a merchant, consider accepting Pi. If you're a developer, think about what you could create on the platform. Fourth, manage expectations. Hope for the best, but be realistic. Don't invest money you can't afford to lose. Don't count on Pi to solve all your financial problems overnight. Treat it as an interesting opportunity, not a guaranteed lottery ticket. Fifth, support the ecosystem. The value of Pi will ultimately come from real usage. So use it, transact with it, encourage merchants to accept it, build the economy you want to see. And here's something crucial: protect yourself from scams. Unfortunately, whenever there's excitement around a cryptocurrency, scammers come out of the woodwork. Never give anyone your passphrase. Never send Pi to promises of doubling your money. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. The legitimate Pi network will never ask you for money up front. They won't promise guaranteed returns. They're building infrastructure and letting the community create value through real usage. Let me zoom out for a moment and talk about what Pi network represents in the bigger picture of cryptocurrency and finance. We're living through a fascinating time in history. For the first time ever, technology is giving ordinary people the tools to participate in creating new forms of money and financial systems. Bitcoin started this revolution by showing that digital currency could exist without government control. Ethereum took it further by enabling smart contracts and decentralized applications. Pi Network is trying to take the next step, making cryptocurrency accessible to everyone, everywhere. Not just tech-savvy people. Not just those with expensive mining equipment, everyone with a smartphone. That's powerful. That's potentially transformative. Think about the billions of people around the world who don't have access to traditional banking, who can't get loans, who can't send money across borders without paying massive fees, who are excluded from the global financial system. If Pi Network succeeds in its vision, it could provide financial tools to people who desperately need them. A baker in rural Africa could trade with a developer in Southeast Asia using Pi. A freelancer in South America could get paid instantly without bank delays or high fees. This is about more than just investment returns. It's about financial inclusion, economic empowerment, democratizing access to financial tools. Now, will Pi achieve all of this? That remains to be seen. The path from vision to reality is long and difficult, but the attempt itself is valuable. The community being built is valuable. The conversations happening around alternative financial systems are valuable. Even if Pi doesn't become the world-changing force some hope it will be, the experiment itself teaches us lessons about what's possible when you combine blockchain technology with massive community participation. So what happens next? What should we be watching for in the coming months? The DEX testnet is just the beginning. As it moves from testing to full deployment, we'll see how well it actually works with millions of users. That's the real test. The mainnet opening is the elephant in the room. Everyone's waiting to see when Pi Network will fully open its blockchain to the world. When that happens, we'll finally get real price discovery. We'll see what the market truly values Pi at. Merchant adoption is another key metric. Watch for more businesses accepting Pi, more real-world use cases, more everyday transactions happening with Pi as the currency. The development of new applications on Pi's platform will show us the creativity and innovation within the community. The more useful apps that get built, the more reasons people have to use Pi. And regulatory developments matter too. How governments around the world respond to Pi Network will impact its ability to operate and grow globally. One thing is certain. The Pi community isn't going anywhere. With 60 million pioneers and growing, this movement has momentum. Whether that momentum translates into the massive value some predict, only time will tell. Alright, we've covered a lot today. We've explored the bold $314,000 prediction. We've looked at the exciting DEX testnet launch. We've examined ground consensus value and what it means. We've been realistic about challenges and honest about potential. So here's the bottom line. Pi Network is building something interesting. The community is real, the development is ongoing, the vision is ambitious. Will one Pi be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? Almost certainly not. But could Pi become a valuable part of the cryptocurrency ecosystem with real utility and adoption? That's absolutely possible. The pioneers who approach Pi with realistic expectations, active participation, and long-term thinking are the ones most likely to benefit from whatever success it achieves. Now, before you go, I want to hear from you. What do you think about Pi Network's future? Are you excited about the DEX testnet? Do you believe in the ground consensus value concept? Drop a comment below saying Pi Network to the moon along with your country name and flag. Let's see how global this community really is. I'll be reading through the comments and responding to as many as I can. If you found this video helpful and informative, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow and lets me know you want more content like this. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. I'm covering Pi Network developments regularly, along with other exciting cryptocurrency projects and blockchain technology. You don't want to miss what's coming next.